Welcome back to another episode of Making Moves, the podcast from the Center for Sport and Social Justice at Cal State East Bay. We're talking about the town today. And if you're from the Bay Area, you probably know which town I'm referring to. But if you're not from California, the town we're talking about today is Oakland. Not far from where we produce this podcast, Oakland boasts a vibrant history of culture, arts, food, sports, and social justice movements. But recently, Oakland has also been boasting a reputation of being widely unsafe, with an ever-growing number of impoverished residents and crime. During a recent survey conducted by the Castlemont Sustainable Urban Design Group, or the SUD Academy, over 150 residents said that they lack access to healthy food options, green spaces to relax, affordable health clinics, as well as entertainment venues like arcades, movie theaters, and free play spaces for kids. Ever since the city lost its major sports teams, the A's and the Warriors, the popular perception of Oakland's decline has only snowballed. In a May 2023 New York Times article, the former VP of the A's, Andy Dolich, is quoted saying, "The Coliseum was the town square of Oakland, where people of all types of backgrounds could gather, and there were generations of fans. You have taken that heart, mind, and soul of a city and ripped it out." Many people agree. But almost exactly a year later, the African American Sports and Entertainment Group, or AASEG, a Black-owned development firm, secured the contract to redevelop the Coliseum area. But what exactly does AASEG want to make of the site, which encompasses both the Oakland Coliseum and the Oakland Arena, and which critics say is mostly just a massive, dangerous parking lot between the BART station and the arenas themselves? The task of repairing a community's broken infrastructure, broken reputation, and arguably broken heart is one that requires a stubborn sense of optimism and a fresh perspective. So who do we turn to for that? The answer, my friends, is probably the youth. Our guests today are the brilliant minds behind the Sustainable Urban Design Academy at Castlemont High School in East Oakland. Alongside the program's instructor, Lily Jacobsen, we talked to two young civil engineers, Rosa and Dayvionna, who are responsible for some of the designs proposed to the AASEG, and whose projects are being taken very seriously into consideration for the upcoming 155-acre build-out. In this podcaster's opinion, it's the beginning of a necessary paradigm shift from only seeing Oakland's imminent demise to seeing Oakland as a place where, as 16-year-old project participant Dayvionna says, people can sit back, relax, and say, wow, this is really nice. Let's dive into the episode with Lisa.
Andrea, thanks so much for that introduction. I'm so beyond excited to spend some time with these amazing human beings and individuals and learning all about their plans. So let's get started and dive right in. Lily, please tell us how Castlemont came to partner with the African American Sports and Entertainment Group and some background on the work students have been doing to create their designs.
Great. Yeah. So actually, I started teaching this project during the pandemic. We did it through distance learning, which was a whole other challenge. But at that point, the client for the project was then City Council Member Lauren Taylor and the East Oakland Black Cultural Zone. And even though we did the design during distance learning, we had the end of year showcase out in the Castlemont courtyard outside. And Councilmember Taylor invited Ray Bobbitt from the African American Sports and Entertainment Group to the showcase. And at that point, he was just putting a bid in on the site. He hadn't won the project yet, but he was so impressed with student designs and he really engaged with young people in a meaningful way. And he said, if I win this project, I would love to work with you in the future. And so then the following year, like 6 months later, I was on my way to work and heard on NPR that the African American Sports and Entertainment Group had won the contract. And so I immediately, as soon as I got to school, he reached out and was like, "Hey, Ray, I don't know if you remember me, but would love to partner with you next semester." And he got back to me right away and has been working with us for the last 4 years now. And Yeah, so the process that students go through is we start with a site visit. So we go to the Coliseum site, we tour the Oakland Arena and the actual Coliseum, and then we have a client interview. So in this case, Ray from AASEG and Lydia Tan and Nelda Kerr from Roots came
Hmm.
to classes, and students came up with questions for them and interviewed them to get their understanding of what's needed at the site. And students also do outreach to conduct a community survey. And this is an ongoing survey that we've been doing throughout the project. So we've got over 700 responses, so some pretty good data. And then they analyze that data in their algebra class. And then once they have that foundational knowledge of what the clients in the community want, they start to layer on their own ideas and work in groups to brainstorm the layout of what they want to see there, and drawing on big maps. And then they split up into roles: a 2D digital designer, so doing using Adobe Illustrator to create a site map, and then a 3D digital designer using a program called SketchUp to create their models, and then one person that's kind of compiling the research and design explanation. And so that's kind of the phase that they're in right now.
So exciting and so cool. Very high tech, in my opinion, because this is not my area of expertise.
Yeah.
I love it. All of that's happening. I want to bring in Rosa and Dayvionna. Rosa and Dayvionna, bringing them into this conversation. When Ray Bobbitt from AASEG visited your class, and we'll start with Rosa first, he encouraged you all to be visionaries, to see things and figure out how to make them better. How would you describe, or what would you say your vision is for how the Coliseum project can enhance East Oakland?
Well, all of us know East Oakland was affected by redlining in 1930s, and I see this project as a chance to help strengthen the East Oakland community by providing more job opportunities, safe zones, and a place where families from different backgrounds can feel welcome, as well as be showing to them that we youth and residents from this neighborhood are willing to stand up for East Oakland.
Rosa, thank you for that. And thank you for the history fact, bringing us to the current. And it's so important that both you and Dayvionna are residents of the area. So you live, breathe, and go to school here in East Oakland. So you know what goes on firsthand. So I appreciate that. Dayvionna, how about you? What is your vision for how the Coliseum project can enhance East Oakland?
I believe that it will enhance East Oakland by giving, like Rosa said, more job opportunities because in this area, I noticed that it is kind of harder for people to find jobs, especially closer to home. So they be
Hmm.
having to commute so far away. So I feel like it will enhance jobs. It'll have somewhere where our community can bond again. But yeah, I think it'll give all of our different cultures somewhere to be and somewhere to connect at because in this area, a lot of people, we could live next door to each other and never talk to each other for years.
Hmm.
Like, I
Hmm.
haven't talked to my neighbors in years. And I just feel like it shouldn't be like that. I feel like we should be able to be like, hey, neighbor, how are you? You know? So I feel like with this project being created, I feel like that'll give us an area to be like, oh, hi. Oh, you're from over there too? Me too. You know, having somewhere for kids to have fun too, because we don't have like a lot of areas where kids can actually have fun without it being like other outside stuff around it, if that makes sense.
For sure, for sure. It is, as you both know, when there isn't an investment in communities, these kinds of spaces, green spaces, social spaces are not invested in. And so there isn't even an opportunity to say, like, hey, I'll meet you at the park, or hey, let's go to this museum together. Let's walk. Like, you have to go far, far away to socialize and connect in healthy, safe ways. And so I'm so excited for y'all to be laying out the plans in just a second, but I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm so excited. But thank you both for sharing that. Miss Jacobsen mentioned that you surveyed people living near the Coliseum. What did you learn when you did that?
So the first thing that like really impressed me by the survey that we conducted to the local residents here in East Oakland is that around 150 residents said they wanted more like restaurants, grocery stores, yeah, and like food places, meaning that unfortunately they don't have access to food. It's really they gotta commute long distances, which is really bad for the environment. They are contributing to
climate change, unfortunately. And this means that they're trying to prioritize, the accessibility to healthy food. And also, like around 400 residents said they wanted entertainment spaces and retail stores. This illustrates how they seek to want more areas where they can bond with family and friends and the desire for local shopping.
No, I mean, thank you so much for sharing that, Rosa, how this is coming straight from your neighbors, the people who live there, that we take it for granted, those who don't live in East Oakland, that, oh, it's easy to walk down here and get healthy food. It's easy to go to a place where we can hang out with our friends and meet up. Like, that's a privilege to have that. And so I think what you're saying is really so very important. So thank you for sharing that. Dayvionna, what would you like to say about this? What did you learn in the surveying process?
With the surveying process, I enjoyed going up to a lot of different people, giving them the survey. And then when we got the feedback, it felt like, like what Rosa was saying, like we don't have enough grocery stores with fresh produce. We have more liquor stores than a grocery store. And then there's entertainment areas, but they're like, I don't think it's like bringing in a lot of families. So I feel like when they have put entertainment in there, I'm like, you know what? We really do need somewhere that brings in everybody, like grandma, kids, mom, brothers, so where everybody can enjoy their time and won't have no complaints. And, like Rosa said too, it is climate change, and a lot of people have to commute so far just have fun or just to get some groceries or get certain groceries. So I feel like with this survey, it's going to make a big change. We're going to incorporate a lot of things. With the survey, they also said more affordable housing. And that's a big thing that I feel like really need to incorporate because prices are going up. Everything is going up. So I feel like it's a lot of like, for example, like we're in poverty right now. Like whether people notice it or not, like we're like East Oakland is in a poverty area. So I feel like when they raise prices to like 25,000 and like 3,000, that's a big sum of money that single families have to go through. Like, and then it's harder for them to get jobs. They really are like having to hustle through everything. So I feel like we really need to incorporate all the elements that our community asks for.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that. Of course. And again, these are elements that a more resource community take for granted and don't even realize the privilege they have. And so for you to get this information, and I know the next step is now knowing that you got these answers, how have they informed your main goals that went into your design to like address some of these areas? Rosa, share a few with us and we'll get to Dayvionna after.
Yeah, of course. So for this project, my role was to do the 3D model. And like many people ask for retail stores or like local where they could go shop, like local shopping and stuff like that. I decided to add a plaza where like small local businesses from the Bay Area could just come and rent them for a low, affordable pricing and they could like, put their business there. I also added a really like unique farmers market, outdoor one where people could go shop. Obviously, I think that would bring in a lot of jobs opportunities for our local residents, and it would be something affordable for the people around.
Amazing. So what I'm hearing you say is like a plaza of pop-ups. That may
Yeah.
be, yeah, that's dope. Pardon my like Gen Z type of talking, but like that's where I'm at right now. That's amazing. And then you're bringing in the farmers market, which is twofold, gives jobs for farmers to showcase their produce and their products, and then walking access for the neighbors to come in and be in a nice environment, community environment, and get themselves some wholesome, healthy food. So I love that so much. Dayvionna, how about you? What did your plan include to address some of the responses from the survey?
Well, my part of the project, I was the poster person, but I also played a big part in the bubble diagram. So, similar like Rosa, I wanted to incorporate fresh produce area And I wanted it to be like probably like 2 stores. I want it to come from like local growers, if that
Hmm.
makes sense. Like, for
Yeah.
example, at Castlemont, we have a farm. So that would be like a form of produce that could go to the grocery store that I want there. I'm like, I know a lot of people actually like just grow stuff at home just because, it's like meditation to some people. So I feel like that's going to help them also because, the grocery store has to buy it from them and then that's going to benefit them. And then our grocery stores will be like attracting a lot of jobs as well because a grocery store has a lot of different parts to it. So we're bringing in like probably like 50 jobs in that area just at once. So, and then I just wanted to add a lot of green areas, a lot of green spaces just for people to relax. I wanted to be like trails there as well because I know a lot of people just like to, walk, probably sit down on a bench and everything. So I wanted that to be like a moment for them to be like, wow, this is really nice. Yeah.
And I'm sure they will. And I wish there was a video to this because I loved your little pose at the end.
Do you want to talk a little bit about your like the entertainment stuff that you had there too with like the movie theater and all that stuff?
Yes. So we had added like it's like a probably like I think 2-story building. It's gonna have a lot of different things in there. We want to put we want to put like laser tag in there. We want to put a movie theater in there because that attracts all ages and everything. What else did we wanna do? We wanted to do, like a parkour area too, like I'm not explaining. It's like you're kinda in the air, but you're not, and you're attached to something. We just want people to have fun, and we wanted kids to have fun. We wanted to put, like, a trampoline area in there as well, and we also wanted to incorporate a clinic at the site as well because we know a lot of people lack health resources, so I'm hoping that the clinic is like you don't have to pay too much just to get a checkup. If you need medicine, they could provide it and everything. It's also going to attract jobs as well because also part of the clinic, it's a lot of different sections, whether you're just organizing, you're at the front desk, you're greeting people. So I'm hoping we attract a lot of jobs with that one as well.
I'm sure you will. There's so much. I can't wait to actually see the plan, like the 3D plan of it is like really exciting. But there's so many ways because you addressed climate, you addressed access, equity, safety, growing at home produce, and that it's meditative. You're also emphasizing sort of like the mental wellness and health of the community and how that's going to be increased and rise as they're able to be in green spaces, breathe clean air, not have to look over their shoulder because they're wondering how safe they are, that it's a community space that's fun. I love it. We all need spaces to have fun. And as a parent, I want to be able to feel like my child can go in a place that's safe, fun, and that they're not on the screen all the time, which is a whole nother thing, right? And then the clinic, as a licensed mental health clinician, I am so excited to be able to know and feel that it has different departments. So different kinds of professionals are going to be in there that hopefully represent the neighborhood too. Physical health, mental health, maybe dentistry, optometry, whatever, chiropractic. Like, I think that could be so amazing. Folks could walk, see someone that looks like them, providing the service. All of that is so, so very important. Now that you have like created your plan and it's a visual piece, it's written, it's going to be shown. What are your plans to show it, and who are you showing and sharing your designs to? Rosa, you can go first.
Okay, so we have a showcase that's gonna be going on, I think, May 28th. And it's gonna be displayed in the media center here at our school to our clients and community members, as well as staff members from the school. Our clients, as you know, it's AASEG and Oakland Roots. They're gonna come through, and we're gonna have computers out to show the 3D models and our posters. And then earlier, in May 24, we're gonna be in Oakland Roots game in the Coliseum, and they're gonna be having our posters and display, and people would come through to see them and ask us questions about them.
Awesome. So you're going to be there answering questions about the posters that you're putting up on the May 24th Roots game. I'm going to
Yeah.
come by and say hi. Love that. And I've marked it in my calendar, May 28th, 1 to 3 p.m. at your school. I want to see it. So I'm going to carve out my day and I will roll in with the other Oakland Roots staff and check y'all out because that is super, super exciting. Dayvionna, is there anything you want to add to that?
Not much. I feel like with me, I'm going to be there as well. So if someone has a question on what's going on with my design, I could, explain and stuff, I want to put out I feel like a lot of people don't look at the stuff that I'm putting, I'm incorporating in there. So I feel like it's going to be a lot of questions and I just have to be there to answer them. So
Yes, you do. You have to, it's your work. So you're the exact person, you and Rosa, to answer the questions that people have about your heart that is now displayed in this design. I have to say that I'm super impressed with these young ladies, how articulate, composed, and funny y'all are, and smart. I can't wait to check out everything you have done and created. I wanted to ask, would you be interested in continuing to work with the AASEG through an internship or something like that after this is presented and decided upon? Has this become a passion area for you? Rosa, how about you?
I would say, yeah, I would love to stay involved. I feel like working with AASEG through an internship program will help me accomplish one of my biggest goals, which has always been to help out the community who's really in need and embrace, my ethnicity as a Latina to, you see a lot of families out there suffering and, living paycheck to paycheck when, they could be winning more money than they make. It would be something impactful to be able to help them. And I feel like this organization does a great job doing that. So
Amazing. And I'm sure they'd be lucky and fortunate to have you. So thank you for that. How about you, Dayvionna? You think you'd want to be involved in this work with AASEG through an internship or something like that?
yes, I would see myself doing it. Like Rosa said, you don't really see a lot of women that's involved with this type of area. So I feel like this would be a good thing for me to be a part of, especially if it's helping my community that I've lived my life here. Yeah, I lived my whole life here. So I feel like I should be a part of it and I should help it. And also helping it is just it feels good to help something be better, if that makes sense.
Of course.
It feels very good. And I felt like it felt good just doing the surveys. So if I were to get the opportunity of doing the AAASEG to do that, I feel like I would really enjoy my time.
I love it. And again, they would be beyond fortunate to have you involved. What are the top two things that you've learned about yourself in this process for how long you've been a part of it in your particular role? I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go Dayvionna first on this one. What are the two things you learned about yourself as a woman, as a resident of this neighborhood, as a human being?
Well, the first thing that really comes to my mind is the fact that you can change what's already done. Because I feel like what a lot of people think of Oakland in general, they think of, oh, the damage is already done. It's no use. Just move away. So
Mm,
I feel like with me doing this, it gives me strength. This isn't just with this, it's going to give me more confidence to do what I feel like doing in life too. Because a lot of people are going to say, oh, why are you doing that down there? Don't nobody go there. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. I feel like in this process, I felt more comfortable with helping my community.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. What would you say to someone maybe across the country or in another city who's facing some of the same challenges as East Oakland? What would you say to those students who want to improve or revitalize their communities? What would you tell them?
I would say pick out a few friends and just get to it. The first thing that I did in Miss Jacobsen class was plant. So I feel like the first thing you could do is, help the greenery, See what things like make a list of things that you would want to be fixed and then start advocating for yourself and your community. Because regardless if you feel like, oh, you're just one person makes a lot of change.
Come on. Do you have a mic that you can drop? Let me just ask you this. How old are you, Miss Dayvionna?
I'm 16.
Okay. People take note. This is a 16-year-old, amazingly excellent young woman here speaking about the truth, basically, is what it is. Rosa, how about for you? What are 2 things that you learned about yourself as a human being in this process?
Well, I learned that to be able to create an impactful change in this world, as like for myself, like being able to like lead a community or like the country or like, I don't know, a club or something, you gotta work with people around you, communicate really strongly with them, and build a tight connection with them so that you can all bring ideas in and build off based on them. And, it's something that whatever you're planning to do or like that you're obtaining those ideas for could make a really crucial change.
I love it. You're talking about the power of relationships
Yeah,
and nurturing them and identifying them and taking care of them and pouring into them and being poured into by them. So
yeah.
I think that's a fantastic, fantastic point. And like I asked Daviana, what would you say to other students who might want to improve their communities?
I mean, they could conduct surveys and they might not successfully, get a lot of good responses. And that's just one tryout just to go for the next ones. And you'll see some changes in there or like try different ideas that will attract people to participate in them.
I love it. So you're saying be curious, be creative, ask the questions, and see what happens.
Yeah.
I love it. So this is off script, and I just need to know, what do you want to be when you grow up? Where are you going to be in like you're Rosa, you're 16 too?
17.
17. What do you want to be, and how do you want to make impact as you enter into young adulthood and into your careers? How do you imagine yourself sort of making impact in the world? Because I know you're going to do that, both of y'all, just in different ways. Rosa, what are your plans and thoughts?
Well, I'm looking forward to getting accepted into UC Davis and becoming a biological systems engineer. Yeah, it's a top tier like career or major. And I think most of the money that I make from it, I would like to donate it from different kids around the country who really need the money for their education, for their life, because I know there's many kids out there like me, big dreamers that would like to pursue certain things. But because they face financial instability, they're not able to. There's a lot of kids in Cuba who really need support in that stuff. And I want their voices for them to know that their voices will be heard.
Rosa, I love that. I know you'll be successful in every way that you dream of, like just because of just who you are and how you put yourself out in the world. So I'm going to keep an eye on you.
All
Okay.
right.
Very successful.
Yes. Daviana, how about you? What are your hopes, dreams, and plans?
Well, right now, I'm thinking of my mom always told me don't put all my eggs in one basket. So, with the thing that I want to do, I don't want to do it full time. I want to do multiple things. Like I want to do real estate, but that I want that to be like a side little job, for funsies. And then for my main job, I want to be a cat tech and I want to go to California State University, Dominguez Hills. And I've visited the school numerous times. I'm going to visit it again this summertime too. So I really hope that, I get in there. I know I'm going to do it. I got to
Yes, you
make it
are.
somewhere.
So here's a fun fact. It's funny. So my husband went there, and my niece is currently there right now.
Ooh,
So small world.
very
And
small.
and the UC connection. I went to UC Santa Barbara. I didn't want to go to UC Davis because too close to home. I grew up in Sacramento. So I was like, it's just like another high school. But it's fantastic for what you're trying to study. So little fun facts. But ladies, this has been more than fun. Miss Lily, is there anything else you want to add before we close out our interview for today?
I mean, I think these young women just showed all the incredible power that young people have in envisioning our community and how to make things better. And that is why I'm a teacher, is because I get to work with brilliant young folks who give me hope every day. So, Yeah.
I appreciate you. And I know they'll remember you for the rest of their lives as well, making an impact on them. So again, I can't wait to meet you all in person. Come and check out the plans, see you at the game. And again, just thank you for being you and keep your hearts as big as they are. And I know you guys are going to be doing great things.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a wrap on this episode of Making Moves, brought to you by the Center for Sport and Social Justice at Cal State East Bay. Today, we've explored what's possible when we hand the mic and the blueprints to the next generation. From green walking trails to third spaces, entertainment hubs, and health clinics, these Castlemont High students aren't just dreaming. They're designing a future where community thrives and everyone belongs, using the vehicle of sports. It's a powerful reminder. When the old guard gets stuck in what can't be done, it's the youth who show us what can. Reimagining the future after losing hope can feel like a lost cause. But judging by what Oakland's young people have demonstrated to the rest of us, the keys to the town seem like they're being passed on to very, very capable hands. Like Dayvionna said, wow, this is really nice. You guys can check out the show notes for links to the Sustainable Urban Design Program and places where you can stay updated on the Coliseum project. Thank you again to our incredible guests and to you, dear sports fan, for tuning in. I'm Andrea Corrigan, your student rep and co-producer. This episode was produced by Sports eMedia, hosted by Lisa Bonta Sumii, and generously funded by the Center for Sport and Social Justice at Cal State East Bay. Until we meet again, keep looking for solutions, keep hopeful, and keep making moves.